consider bills that are aimed at preventing gun violence.
Dean Phelps is doing the right thing. We need to get common sense gun legislation because apparently the legislation we have right now is not working. Last year, there were 365 days in the year, and there were more than double the mass shootings in that time. We get an extra day this year because it's a leap year, so that means more death for other Americans. Are you not tired of reading about dead children? We had a 17-year-old male child walk around with a 12 gauge pump action shotgun and a small caliber firearm and kill his classmates. And this is Iowa. It's not like it's Chicago, which is, every Republican is always, Chicago's a shitty town, New York. This is Dallas County, Iowa. Population 8,000. Where'd he get the gun? He's 17. Where'd he get the gun? Are there going to be adequate psychologists? Are there going to be adequate doctors in the region? Do people have to get flown out? Because doctors that aren't OBGYNs are leaving red states too. Because it's like, you can see the example, hey, they're threatening to jail my constituents that happen to be doctors. Why the fuck would I stay here? And that leads to dead children. As to guns. So as you watch your politicians this week, see how many of them have that wonderful AR-15 lapel pin that the Republicans seem to wear instead of, I don't know, an American flag or maybe a crayon to stand in solidarity with all the dead children that have happened since they got rid of the assault weapon ban in 2004. The deaths of children and adults and just Americans has gone up by 239% after that. It's not working. I don't know many people that aren't gun nuts that are happy with gun legislation. There are 6 weapons in my house. I live in Florida. If they told me I had to hand them in, I'd be okay with it. If they told me I need to take a psychological test, I'd be okay with it. If they want to do a full background investigation, I'd be okay with it. If they want to put a chip at each round, so when it's fired, you know who it's fired from, I'm okay with it. I am for rational rules so that someone can't, like the governor of my state wants to get rid of the 3-day waiting period. So if you're angry, you can go to your sporting goods store and pick up a firearm and then solve the problem. I have done more than 40 active shooter drills in my life as a teacher. They started in 1998 when I was teaching at Roosevelt Middle School. Have the children turn their desks on the side. Have the children practice being quiet. I had a baseball bat, a catcher's mitt, and a glove in my room. I was prepared to stand by the door and beat the assailant. I had my kids protected the best way I possibly could for middle school kids, behind desks. My walls were made of particle board. Now, you have other options. The density of books and paper can actually help save children's lives. What I'm going to do when I go back is wrap 3 or 4 textbooks together, put them in book bags and place them in the front of my room, equal the number of children I have. So if you have an active shooter, at least it provides a chest shield for them. Because that's where you're going to put the books, is in front of your heart and your lungs. I can't do anything about your head, but I can do something about your chest. That'll help save lives. Please, for the love of God, talk to the teachers of your children. If you're a parent who has elementary school age children, your first grade teacher, your second grade teacher, they're going to have your child most of the time. They go to art or they go to music They do other activities every once in a while, but for the most part, they're going to be with that one person. The bigger problem is, and I mean this seriously, depending on what high school or middle school your child goes to, there are anywhere from, I've seen 4 to 9 class periods a day, which means you have anywhere from 4 to 9 plans for an active shooter, plus the overall plan the school has. If it happened in Iowa, it can happen in your town. Please stress to your children that when they do these drills, they're serious, that the adults aren't doing this because we don't think it's a possibility. Take the time to talk to your children, talk to your teachers and administrators, make sure their plans are sound, talk to police officers, anyone who's got experience with combat in small situations. There are an ample amount of Afghanistan and Iraqi war veterans around who can help set up for defense. I'm not being facetious. They understand how people are thinking when they're using a weapon to kill people, and that is imperative. I don't have that knowledge. I've never killed anyone, and I wasn't a soldier. Please, please, please. Gun legislation is an important thing. Dean Phillips is pushing to get this fixed. We should expect more from all of our politicians.